Welcome to the Cosmic Journey. I am Theron. I'm your cosmic weirdo. I am an astrologer, so I use the planets and the stars to bring self-awareness to individuals who like to change and become unstuck in life. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. I hope that you stay and be a part of our community. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. Thank you for hanging with me, and yeah, I'm happy to see you here. So I do ask that you all interact with this video by liking, comment, sharing, and subscribing for sure. This will help other people be able to hear this information and see, get this out to people who may need it and want to know this information. Okay. So right now, we're about to start a series called The Planets Through the Houses. We're going to discuss the characteristics of these planets as they move through the houses of the natural natal chart. So let's get to it. So now we're taking a cosmic journey through the ninth house. It's the house of expansion and understanding. Here is the house where we grow intellectually. We're interested in philosophy, spirituality, foreign cultures, even foreign travel. Long distance travel is here. Marketing and publishing is here in the ninth house. Being idealistic, able to brainstorm and think big is here in the ninth house. So with the ninth house, somewhat higher education is here. So with the ninth house, you have experts and gurus that have a lot of placements in the ninth house. They've become the go-to in their industry with having some placements here in the ninth house. Ninth house, there's a free spirit about ninth house. Ninth house wants to have their freedom, and they use searching for the truth, broadening their minds as a means of that freedom. So they can be adventurous, risk takers, but anything they go through, anything that they decide to go after, they go after it in a big way. Not really afraid of a possible failure. Matter of fact, they very optimistic. So they're looking more at a life lesson being learned than a failure being had. So therefore, if there's something doesn't go right, it's just something else that they can put as they learned from, without the quotes, but they learn from it and they'll try again, trying to supersede the level that they had problems with or challenged with previously. So the ninth house is in the natural sign, in the natural zodiac chart, it correlates with Sagittarius and the planet of Jupiter. So just to give you that insight. So yeah, let's go through the planets here and see what we get. Having the sun here in the ninth house is not too much different having Jupiter in the fifth house. So I don't know if you saw that video or not. It's not that, is that relationship with those two placements, it's not that different. Having the sun here in the ninth house, this person has that go big or go home persona about them. They are like very idealistic. They can be theatrical here, but they do things on a big scale. Adventurous, risk taker, and they're also probably the dominating force in the people that they are surrounded, whether home or work. So if there's a goal that has been met, they are the type to want to push the envelope. Let's do this. Let's beat what we did before. Let's go beyond what we did before. They also come with the optimistic and a fun-loving way about life. So the possibility of something not working or I guess failing at something is not the forefront of their minds. So if something didn't work, okay, fine, but let's do it again. Let's do it again. I could see that from someone here having the sun here. And it depends on the sign. that's here as well. Because on the other side of it, the sun sometimes can represent the masculine dominating parent or caregiver, and that person could have an influence on your ninth house, and that could have been like restricting your big ideas or being a part of your big ideas. So that's that aspect of the sun being in the ninth house as well. But this person may love to travel. If not travel, they probably very interested in foreign cultures, keeping up with what's going on abroad in different countries. And yeah, it's an interest for them. There is a possibility that they are an expert in one thing, one area of life, or multiple areas of life. It does, we all have choices. It could be more than one area of life, but they may be known publicly as this person to go to, having this placement in the ninth house. So yeah, the sun being here is the identity of who this person is. They have to grow. They have to see what else is there. Now, to mention about the ninth house, it doesn't necessarily, depending on the sign, but traditionally it doesn't necessarily care much about the details. It cares more about the action. So there's a chance where this person is more like, even though they don't have all the information, they want to do it anyway, because they have the optimism that and the faith that things will work out. So as they take that first step, they have the faith that there's going to be a step there, even if they don't see it. So they feel like everything will fall in place. We just got to get going. So they all have that drive to push. Again, the people that are around them, they can be that leader or that dominating force that makes people just take that step, regardless if they have all the information or not. Having the moon here in the ninth house, this person is a dreamer, and they're dreaming of growth and expansion. Their dream is they're supposed to be dreamers. It's nothing wrong with it at all. Matter of fact, their dreams at night when they sleep, possibly giving them the messages and the guidance that they need. They may have to decode the message, but it would help them figure out that those codes or the messages that they're receiving in their dream world, and it will help them actualize their goals in reality. They seek truth, they seek freedom, they seek justice, but all of these things would just have to be processed, internalized. So they're not as vocal, they're not as risky. The risk will come after they've processed it. If they want to take a chance on something, it'll have to be processed first. It's not the knee-jerk, let's go do it now flow with them. Like I said, it has to be internalized. It needs to be processed. It needs to, they're going to move more intuitively. And a lot of that intuitive messages that may come to them, again, as they sleep or as they even daydreaming, any type of time where they can just go into another realm for a moment, they're pulling down messages, they're pulling down guidance, they're pulling down something that can help them in the real world. So Venus here in the ninth house, Venus shares a common interest with the ninth house, and that is fairness, is justice. So someone with Venus in the ninth house could definitely be someone who speaks out about injustices and speaks out for the people who can't speak for themselves. And they can do it in the higher court. So this could be a lawyer, or they could do it in social media, and somehow like getting the word out on a large scale about some of the injustices that that they want to speak out about. The other thing is Venus loves beauty and the arts. This person could very well be someone affiliated in the arts, whether it's an actor or an artist, like a painter or something. But they're doing it on a big scale, on a grand scale. If they're creating art, when I say grand scale, like this person could be that person that makes those sculptures that go in people's lawns that are like huge, and they may use some type of material, like picking up cans off of the street or cans here and there, and build some nice sculpture for the world to see. That's what I mean by big, like actually like you got to look up at it type of big. Now they also can be big, meaning like financially, like making great money in the arts. So big can come in two different, multiple ways with this placement. Venus here in the ninth house may have an interest in foreign cultures and taking like trips overseas, because they do like to have a beautiful lifestyle. So if they can't accomplish it where they are living now domestically, they could search for other countries that match the lifestyle that they see for themselves. And they're okay with taking the risk to make that move, even if it's by themselves, because that need to have that surroundings feel good to them is more important here, and they would take the risk to achieve it. Jupiter here in the ninth house, of course, is going to accentuate some of the the characteristics that I spoke about at the beginning of this video. Jupiter, this person with the Jupiter placement, depending on the sign, they can very well be a teacher and a student. Here in the ninth house, with placements in the ninth house, this person likes information because it broadens their mind. And therefore, once their mind has been opened and they see a bigger picture, they're easily drawn to showing that bigger picture to other people to help broaden their minds. So it's a complete cycle over and over again. Them learning, and then them teaching. There is a possibility, like I said, depending on the subject matter, this person can definitely become like the guru in whatever field that they choose, because of that excitement of learning and growing in that environment. They become the expert, and people come to them for that information. Here in the ninth house with Jupiter, there may be an interest in religion, and more so like the philosophy of religion, and they may do a lot of research around religion, like who is God, and really diving in to any type of material that they can read and get the understanding. And like I said, it's about growth and expansion. So we're not saying whether or not someone believes or don't believe. It's just that if it's an interest, religion is an interest here, they're drawn to getting that information. And as they achieve, like I said, that information, they're going to actually give it out to someone else so they can open their minds as well. Jupiter in the ninth house, they are not really meticulous on details. And that depends on the sign that's here. But for the most part, they're not particular on details. So having to buckle down into the details of things could be a challenge here for Jupiter. They are action-based type of, it's an action-based type of planet here. Sitting still, waiting on the details, it's like a waste of time, feels like a waste of time for them. even though it's necessary in a lot of cases. So therefore, they may make the first move without having all the information, and they're okay with that. They feel like the information will come to them as they on their journey, and most times it may very instinctual. So they're going to. So I guess like I'm saying, like they're very instinctual. So yeah, they want to move without the details because they're relying on their instincts to get them on the path that they need to go. And then they have the optimism that the information that they need or the people that they need will meet them on their path as they're heading to their destination. So Mercury shares a quality with Jupiter, and that is communication. Or in learning and learning, teaching, and using your mind and the intellectual side of things. That comes. Mercury and Jupiter are in align with that. What thing about Mercury? Is if you understand, Mercury was in our third house. So our early education, Mercury was influenced there. It taught us our learning styles, our communication styles, and how we went about relating to our peers in our third house. If you take it now into taking that Mercury and putting it into the ninth house, this person could definitely teach on a broader scale. So they could be teaching in a college, or they can even just have like a community of where they teach people in like a membership or social media. But what it is, the talent that comes into this with Mercury being in Jupiter, Mercury is able to talk to people where they're at. This person will know how to talk and be understood and understand the community that they've built that they're teaching, if that makes sense. Or you could say customers or their clients that they're teaching. This person could definitely be like into some sort of marketing. They can publish books, magazines, but the audience that's the word, the audience that they are pulling in, those people that are attracted to this person because they're talking on their level. They seem like they're personable and they can see and understand the person where they're coming from, because Mercury is pulling those kind of like those mundane learning styles, and they're putting into the product that they're sending out to the world and to that audience that follows them, or the audience that knows about them and purchases their what have you. But definitely either teaching or they do, like if they're teaching in like a higher education, a college or something, or they also can be teaching through books. They can be teaching through song. They can be teaching through magazines and other publications. But however, like I said, they're going to talk to those people on their level and help them understand and broaden their minds in a new way. But like we're doing it without the condescending talking down. They're going to be talking as if they're the same. We're all the same. We're all going through this, and and this is how we're going to grow and get from this level to the next level. Mars here in the ninth house. Mars bringing that fire, that determination. They have, like, for themselves, there is a determination for growth. They're trying to pick up the messages and learn through all the experiences. They do probably have an interest in traveling, an interest in the foreign cultures, but there also may be more of it's two ways they can be about this. They can be a person that is well balanced, Mars, that's able to articulate where they articulate to their audience what it is that they need to grow in. Like, don't get me wrong, they can be very like forward and say what they have to say. but they can do it very organized and level-headed, that, you know, this is where you need to grow, this is how you need to get to the next level, and this is how I'm going to push you to go to that next level. The other hand, depending on the sign, Mars in here can be a scatterbrain genius. Like, they don't seem like they have their head doesn't seem screwed on straight. They get to the end goal, but it's kind of very unorganized. It's just, you know, like you see the movies, the person who has the papers and they're all scattered, but they're the genius. People are going to them because they have the information, but getting the information out of them is hard because it's just a lot of things going on through their head at the same time. So, you know, unfortunately, Mars can have both of these things going on. It depends on the sign. It depends on what's aspecting it. But there is definitely one, if they are level-headed and they're about learning and teaching and growing, and even in social issues, the inequalities and fighting for inequalities, then Mars will be that person who will level-headedly push the envelope and level-headedly, like, let me make you think a different way. Let me put you on this different path because you're not seeing the bigger picture, and I'm about to show it to you, and I'm about to let you have it. You know, they can come from there, that direct, direct in your face, in your face type of person with their information, but they're also very, they grab on the information pretty good. So you're not really going to get a lot over them, because they also grab onto that information really quickly, and they'll be able to process it a little better, and then be able to push it out to the audience, or push it out to the people that they're communicating with. It's just like, depending on the sign, that process part can have a trick in there, that even though they have the information and people know that they have it, and they can be a guru or expert at it, but getting it out where it makes sense to other people could be a challenge. So yeah, that's Mars. Saturn being here in the 9th house. What Saturn may do is stabilize a person here in the 9th house. Because Saturn wants to learning. It doesn't mind. Saturn likes success. So the person needing to learn and grow, Saturn really don't have a problem with that. But you're going to have to do it more calculating with Saturn being here. They're not going to be that risky. They're not going to take that chance and let's move forward anyway and just wait on the information to come as we journey on this path. No, Saturn doesn't like to be wrong. And they also want the perception of being successful, you know, from the people from the outside. So they're going to do their homework to figure out how do we need to grow? How do we need to expand? And what steps to take to get there? One thing here, Saturn is also being a masculine planet. The masculine energy or caregiver could have influence here for the person with this placement. They could have been like restrictive with some of the ideas and the ideas and the dreams that a person may have had. So they may have came and tried to like stifle those things. But for the most part, this person will achieve their goals because they're also going to stick to it. See, you know, Jupiter, they like to go after goals. Once they get what they come for, like whatever the lesson is, they can abandon ship to find the next big thing or the next best thing. Saturn may level that out being here, where this person will follow through and get to the end result. But once that end result, they are going to go to that next thing, to go to that next level. Uranus being here in the 9th house. Uranus definitely can be a teacher. and like in higher education. They teach people how to break the mold, how to get out of what they like that group think, societal pressures. This person understands individuality, and they want to teach individuality to the other people, to the other person, or the people that they are teaching. Um, they have a unique way of going about it, but they actually challenge the person's mind to think outside the box, to bring a different idea to the table. Definitely they do not like groupthink, and so they won't encourage it in their classrooms or in with the audience that they are teaching. Um, this person also may have something to do with technology or engineering. They could be an expert in any one of those type of career paths. They can be the expert in whatever they teach or whatever they learn, grow in. These people will, with this placement, they could definitely attract a community of people that are all unique. They all come from different backgrounds. They all have different cultures. They're the kind that they can go and make friends and be a part of communities that are totally opposite than their own. They're not really keen on any type of conformity, so their need to find something that's outside of the box and to learn and grow in that area in their lives is important. So they're always probably traveling to foreign countries because it's outside of the box for them. It's outside of Pluto being in the ninth house. It intensifies the ninth house need for freedom and justice and truth. So this person, they can come into a situation, set a few fires to the old beliefs, so people can have a new way of thinking or a new way of like expanding their mind to bring in a new way of focusing and like I said, getting rid of those old beliefs. They can do this on a scale of 1-on-1, depending on the sign, where they can be psychologists or life coaches, and they can help people transform their lives, and help them grow and expand and see outside the box of the life that they are currently living in. Pluto in the ninth house will also, Pluto likes power. Being here in the ninth house, Pluto may have a tendency to obsess, I guess the word, about power. And they could be definitely cutthroat if not checked, because the whole wanting to be powerful and wanting everybody to know how powerful you are on that grand scale, it will be like a test of some of their ethics and morale, and their value system, being here. How far would they go for that power? Because in this house, pushing the envelope is easy. So pushing the envelope to see how and trying to like jump levels in a powerful way, can definitely be seen here in the ninth house. So yeah, the journey in the ninth house with Pluto, it can be very interesting. There's sensuality, sexuality that comes here. Somebody could have multiple partners here in the ninth house. There is a possibility where Pluto being in the ninth house, You could, Pluto is about other people's resources. So you could be finding a lot of your success and a lot of your, what is it, financial success, or a lot of your financial like notoriety off of other people's resources and other people's income. Um, Neptune being in the ninth house, this person definitely could use their intuition, psychic abilities right here in the ninth house to help a lot of people. Um, if they're in anything spirituality wise, under that umbrella, esoteric, occult umbrella, they are definitely using that to that skill, that talent to connect with the masses. Um, yeah. Now, ninth house already has like a dreamy quality about it. Ninth house will use their dreams to help them. It helps strengthen their instinct on what messages to pay attention to, synchronicities to pay attention to. With Neptune being here, those dreams, not only will they be like on a whole nother level for the person that has the Neptune here in the ninth house. However, it may be hard for the person to harness it because Neptune doesn't really play. Sometimes it's hard for Neptune to live in reality. They like to live in that fantasy world. They have illusions, the illusional world. And this causes confusion and it causes conflict. So Neptune, you have these dreams that a person may have here, and it may be hard and sometimes confusing for them to take those messages and try to bring it and actualize them in the real world. However, if and when they're able to do so, they're able to help people with their talent. They're able to be very successful in being known as that go-to person, helping people use their talents in, like I said, that esoteric or that occult realm of spirituality. Because they can connect well. They have empathy. They empathize. They can connect to the person. They can feel that vibe that's coming off from them. They can feel it in their bodies. So they will, if they have a clear anchor to keep them aligned, they will use that talent that they have to help others. If they don't, they will have a hard time. They'll still have that talent, but they'll have a hard time bringing that information into reality. That information to help others. It will be hard for them. So they could create more confusion than they do create helping other people align as well. So if Neptune isn't aligned or have a hard time dealing with, their talents and that empathy and stuff, and it kind of feels like it weighs on them, then escapism may be their means. So that escapism can be anything from addictions. It could be any type of addiction to drugs, alcohol. It could be to social media, TV, whatever it is that they can escape reality. Here in the ninth house, they're going to hit the gas and they're going to have no brakes. They're going to go and just, it'll be hard to, unless they have somebody that can really help them pull them out of it, they're going to go in and they're going to go really, really deep in their escapism where, again, if they don't have anybody or just have something to come in to help pull them out of that, this would be like a level of concern for someone that's have Neptune here in the ninth house. All right, Chiron in the ninth house, there is some sort of wounding that has taken place around dreaming big, taking risks. This could have been a situation where you've taken a risk and fell flat, and it created a trauma for you. And every time you go to take a risk, this trauma or this wound rears its ugly head. Um, what it is, you may have to reconnect with your instincts again, so you'll be able to trust your instincts. This could very well have been a parent or some caregiver, or in your, childhood also, where you've had a big idea or you wanted to do something to grow and expand, and someone came in and either took that opportunity away from you, or became so condescending and critical to it. Again, it created a wound, a trauma in it that would, therefore it created a wound. Chiron is not a planet, but I did add it to this series because it's important that the placements for Chiron is important. It's letting us know some of the woundings and the insecurities that we may walk around with every day, that we will always be doing work on. They don't go away. It's something that you're going to have to work on constantly. So if this resonates, understand, like, part of this placement is saying that I'm going to be here. You're going to have to work through me, but there's success on the other side as you work through it. And you probably will be able to help others work through it. And being here in the 9th house, you may help others work through it just, by teaching and on a large scale. You can be in publishing and like really talking to those people who have a similar wound that you have. So, this is Chiron. So we made it to the end. Thank you for all from watching and being here through this series. And thank you for being here. If this is your first time, welcome. If you've been watching this whole series, thank you very much. And I hope that you are liking it, commenting, because I would love to hear from you. Share it with someone that may need this information. Also, I do personal natal readings. So head over to the link in the bio and let's schedule a time to meet. I would love to go through your natal chart and help you see what's going on. And I will talk with you soon.